I'm Steve Yasko, Executive Director of the Bromo Arts and Entertainment District, and you're watching Bromo TV. Today we're speaking with Brandon Lackey, music producer and owner of the Lineup Studio. The Lineup is tucked away on the second floor of the Maryland Art Place building on Saratoga Street. And Brandon is a music producer, a Maryland native from Harford County, and a graduate of Towson University's Electronic Media and Film Department. He did that in 2005. So, Brandon, welcome to the program.
Thanks for having me on. I appreciate it.
When did you start the Lineup Studio? How did you get into producing music?
So probably 3-4 years ago now, Lineup Room started.
What were you doing before?
Before that, I have done some teaching in Baltimore City, and I did a lot of work with label Mania Music Group. We did a whole lot of cool stuff that gave me the experience I needed to do things that I do now.
Very cool, very cool.
So I did a whole lot of artist development, production, and mixing, recording and mixing. The sound engineering is the bulk of what I do.
So what is it that Lineup specializes in?
So Lineup Room Recording Studio specializes in providing a comfortable environment for MCs and rappers. So the 99.9% of what we do is hip hop and rap. All the engineers here, that's what we do. I noticed that a lot of the studios, they're not in love with rap, and that's okay. There's a lot of genres I'm not in love with, or the environment's real harsh. I wanted to have a studio that would create an environment where an artist could feel like an artist, have some candles and some mood lighting. And it's the little things, but everybody we work with, everybody that hops on these mics wants to express themselves for a living. So it's our job to put them in a place where they feel comfortable to do that, no matter what they're talking about.
So Brandon, the question I guess has to be asked. I think a lot of people are wondering how you got accepted into the hip hop and rap communities here in Baltimore. After all, you're a white guy from the suburbs, and you must have had to earn their trust. How did you do that?
I've got asked that question a bunch of times, and I wish I had a really cool story that involved some sort of 8 Mile-esque scene. But really, I've always been a supportive role. So as a producer and as a promoter, studio owner, whatever, I'm always looking to support and build up Baltimore hip-hop artists in the Baltimore hip-hop community. So it was never really an issue for me, since I've kind of wanted to just be a part of it from the jump anyways.
Mm-hmm. So when did you really become a fan of hip hop and rap? Have you always listened to it?
I got into it later. I was into grunge rock a lot, early high school, late high school. I got into hip hop and rap, and it was definitely my punk rock. It was definitely the music that I think everybody at that age just wants to be mad about something. And like any white kid from the suburbs that wants to dress like Jay-Z, I was like, yeah, that's my, that's what I'm into. So it tapped into my what is it? Teen angst.
Your angst?
Yeah, but it was like I love that attitude of like, I'm just gonna can I cuss?
A little bit, sure.
All right, of just like, fuck this, I'm gonna make my own way. I'm gonna make my own thing, and I'm gonna go out there in the world and carve my own path and do things. I just want to chase it, and that's like with my kids growing up. Like I want to do this as long as I can, so they can see, like, if you want something and you want to hustle and you're willing to sacrifice, you can go out there and make this world what you want it to be.
Well, that's true. That's true. Some folks might be surprised to find out that you're a father.
Oh yeah, I got 2 babies. I got one of them's 3, one of them is 19 months. So she's coming up on 2. I'm a family man. Happily married family man. It's not as fun sounding as I think a story that would be cooler for somebody that's doing this, where it's like I should have some turmoil, but
Well, and 2, I think most people would assume someone who runs a recording studio is, staying up till 4, 5, 6 in the morning, and that doesn't exactly jive with family man status. How do you make that work?
My wife is the greatest partner in the history of the world. I'm very lucky. I'm just now, after 10, 15 years in this industry, able to carve out some time for myself and time for things outside of this. And she, for the first decade, we've been together 15 years just about, she really dealt with the sacrifice of me not being around as much, and that was really hard. But yeah, so without her, like this, I wouldn't have been able to make it to where I'm at, just whether it's logistically or emotionally, you know, because it takes having somebody in your corner perpetually.
So I guess if you, as you called yourself a child of the 90s, I guess the one artist we have to get your opinion on is Eminem.
Yeah, I mean, he was definitely a big influence. Like, he kind of came in, I guess, after I was into it. His first couple albums are really, really, I'm a big fan of. But on the other side of that, like, I really view, this is controversial, but like hip hop and rap to me is like, it's a black art form, you know? So the stuff that I like to listen to, I want it to be reflective of that, you know? Not that I have a problem with him or anything like that. Work with a ton of really cool people here, but that, to me, it's like, that's like the true form of the art, you know?
Who are some of the groups that you produce that you think would be accessible to folks who want to learn more about Baltimore hip hop and rap, but may not normally be a fan of the music in general?
Sure, yeah. There's one of the bigger records that I worked on ended up on Billboard, which is by a cat named Dunson, and the song is called Broke Ass Dope Ass Rapper. And it's cool. It's like, at that time, music was very much about being rich and platinum and all that stuff. And like with him, he's like, hey, I'm just like trying to make this work. I'm broke, which is like a more realistic reflection of what it's like for all of us just trying to make this work, you know? So it was cool to be a part of that. And then I've done work with TT the artist, who's fantastic. And she's got work on Insecure on HBO. I did some work with a band called New Retro that has some work on Spike Lee's new series on Netflix, which is really cool. And all of those artists are, I think, pretty accessible. I mean, those were ones that I'd be like, hey, Mom, check this out.
So that's great. So a lot of the folks that come through here end up selling, not selling their word, not selling it. They end up going on to some pretty big productions.
Yeah, I mean, we have, you know, some people that are novices, but for the most part, we're real lucky. We've positioned ourselves to be a studio that provides a lot of opportunity through Baltimore Beat Club, especially for artists to get on bigger local shows and things like that. And we're a hub for people that want to advance their careers, where they get their music on iTunes and things like that.
So you also had a single that you worked on that was picked up on Sirius XM. I saw you'd made a trip up to New York to debut it.
Yeah, we were lucky enough to be on Static Selector's show on Shade 4-5, which is really cool. That was an awesome opportunity. MC Bravado, who's one of my favorite artists, was able to get that debuted on there, and man, that kid hustles. That guy. If I had reservations about white MCs in the past, he definitely has brought me back around, because he's a really talented dude. So yeah, we were in right up in New York at Sirius, and it was real special.
Great. So you'd mentioned Baltimore B Club. Talk a little bit more about that, how it works, and where it is, and all that kind of good stuff.
Sure. Baltimore B Club is simple, kind of in the format and description. Anybody can come and sign up and play beats. Anybody can come and sign up and rap. But the MCs don't know what beat is going to be played. So every MC that's up there has to be comfortable just having no idea what's about to come, and being confident enough to be like, just throw me a beat, I can attack whatever. So it makes sure the people that are on stage are really talented. And that's on purpose, because we want to show people, especially like people from outside of Baltimore, the county, people like me, that like there's so much talent here. Where, like, yeah, we're confident enough to just put MCs up there and be like, there's so much talent here, it's going to be entertaining. And the show is every single time. We're really lucky. There's a ton of really good artists there. And we've partnered with a lot of bigger venues in Baltimore, Soundstage, to work things out with them. They trust us to pick talent to where it's like we can get them on a bigger show. And then we could just send them to them. Because the system to get on bigger shows is really hard, because there's no set way to do it. So we're the kind of the first people to step into that role and be like, hey, you guys want talent? We just want to support people and see them grow in their careers. That makes us all look better. That increases the money coming into the Baltimore music economy. You know what I mean? So Beat Club definitely serves as an opportunity. So you have anywhere from people that are just starting out rapping. You get up there and it's a real warm environment, and then you got vets and they get up there and they usually do really big shows, but they love how it is where it's completely performance driven. And then you also get people that do like more mumble rap, which is like not everybody's favorite, which is newer, the new school stuff. And then you got people that do the more traditional hip hop stuff. And they end up working together because they're like, they would never listen to that, but they see an artist up there. That they really like, and they're like, this isn't what I'm usually into, but let's do some work together. So there's been EPs, albums, mixtapes, all kinds of stuff to come out of Beat Club with people that never would have worked together.
I was going to say, how did you end up here in the Bromo?
So my studio flooded in Parkville, and somehow I was convincing people from downtown to come out and work with me in Parkville. And so we were looking to move downtown, and this provided the opportunity for that. Someone connected me with Amy, and she was nice enough to welcome me to Maryland Art Place. I got really lucky. And then I was like, someday I'll have the Beat Club in the basement venue, because that, for a lot of people that grew up here, that venue is really special. There's an event called Organic Soul that started there. This whole block is really special for Baltimore music. Used to be a record store right around the shop, or right around the corner. So I was like, yeah, I want to do the venue there, or do a Beat Club there. And it just all ended up working out. It's like right in the basement here. And then we got too big for that. And we've gone to Wind Up Space, Why Not Lot, and then we're about to outgrow those. So, yeah, and I don't think that would be possible without Maryland Art Place.
So what about the future? What do you think the future holds for you? How do you want to grow this, or do you want to grow this bigger?
Yeah, I mean, it's for the last 2 years. I said this is the year I kill it or grow it, and I'm like, if we don't make it bigger, I'm killing it, because if it's not serving the Baltimore hip hop community in a way that's effective and drawing attention to the talent we have here, then there's no reason to do it. So. And every year we've been like, let's try this. Wouldn't that be crazy if we could do that? And then every year we just make it happen. We just do it. So as we continue to push it, we've got everything booked up to the end of the year. We're working with museums. We're working with a lot of different people and companies and corporations that are because of our event, are able to see the level of talent that we have here and realize that what we have at B Club and in Baltimore hip hop is really special.
So you working with a museum, what's that about?
That's going to be something we're going to announce soon. We have something in September that I can't. It's almost solidified, but it's going to be cool. We're booked up all the way almost to the end of the year. We've got Artscape coming up, and we've got Amafico coming up, which is a Red Bull festival. Artscape, if anyone doesn't know, is the biggest free festival in the country. And then both of those opportunities, we're bringing a Beat Club on June 30th. We're looking for talent to put on those stages. So we're not just like, let's, push Beat Club as much as we can on that. No, we want some fresh people. I find it relatively easy to find crazy good talent here. So we're going to be picking June 30th people to take with us to Artscape. And it would be the second time we did that.
Fantastic. That's very exciting. So you've really developed this whole community, and it all happens here on the second floor in the Lineup Studio on Saratoga Street in the Maryland Art Place building.
Yep.
Brandon, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Waited all my life just to get a glance.